Good afternoon, good morning, and good night, folks. No. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning? Sure. My name is Cabitha. If you don't know me, that's okay. Most people don't. And I'm a little eepy right now. It is currently 11:58 p.m. and I have been trying to make this video for the entire month, and it hasn't worked out. I have been trying to do a 24-hour reading challenge and been failing miserably this entire time. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because I keep taking breaks, and I tried spacing it out over the course of a couple days. Some people are smart, and they're like, I'm just gonna set a timer so I can read 24 hours straight instead of trying to gun it, right? But I tried doing that, and then it took 5 days, and I didn't even have 12 hours yet. And I'm like, this is boring, no one wants to see this. So instead, I'm gonna get delusional, and I'm gonna read for an entire day straight. No sleeping. No sleeping for me. Sleep is only for the people that have video ideas that aren't this. This is all I can think of right now. So I'm gonna go midnight to midnight, hope for the best. It's already midnight, which is bad. I have with me a little timer, so I'll be able to clock when I actually stop and start. I just currently want to talk about what I'm reading. I'm already about 100 pages into this book, but it's really good, so I'm not too concerned. This is where I stopped my reading challenge last time though, because mind you, this is an attempt on this video. I've had multiple at this point, but this is where I left off on my last attempt, and I read about 88 pages there, and then I just haven't picked up a book since. So I'm going to be reading this. It's Ring by Koji Suzuki. Turns out this book is what inspired the Ring movie, and I didn't know, but I know now 100 pages in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read. I will update y'all if anything interesting happens. Maybe hour marks, I don't know. Hour marks if they're interesting. Here's the thing, I was doing like research on like how other people structured their videos, and it's like a mixed bag of everything. So how I'm structuring my video is if anything interesting happens, or if an hour mark seems kind of important. I'm gonna start the timer, and we're gonna start reading, because what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna hope for the best. I'm gonna use a lot of caffeine to get through this. Hopefully, it's aesthetically pleasing for y'all, but it's probably not gonna be. We're an hour in. My eyes are watering. My leg is asleep. I'm already regretting this. I don't have the time to just like take a nap and start this later because I overbook myself somehow. So I'm stuck doing this. It is 1 a.m. I believe. Yeah, 1:10. I'm on page 159. I'm about halfway through the book now, which is cool. I'll probably finish this within the next couple of hours. I don't know what I'm going to be reading after this, quite earnestly. I was thinking maybe of rereading Hunger Games, but I don't want to rereading Hunger Games the entire time. The thing is, it's rereading Hunger Games and then reading Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes for the first time, and I don't want to rush through that. So I'm thinking maybe I read a little bit of the first Hunger Games book. I think I need to have an easy book after this. Not because this book is bad. This book is just a lot. It's horror, right? And it's very, the stakes are high, and the writing is really good. So I kind of just want something easy, because we're getting to the point where I'm already sleepy, and that's bad. It is hour 1 of this challenge, and I'm already sleepy. Bad idea. I think at some point I'm just gonna get real delusional, but currently not. Let's keep a move on. Okay, so one of these characters in this book is driving me up the walls with his diction. The main character, our perspective character, is like, oh, will you save my wife and kids if I die? Because like, that's what it is. And this character, Ryuji, is like, yeah, I'll save your wifey and babykins. Ew. I hate the way he talks, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. And it's like, this is how he talks all the time. All the time! Hello. We are on hour 2. I can see the moon. I like the moon. I've had to get a new highlighter because mine was drying out. I'm on page 208. I'm probably gonna finish this book. Not within the next hour, but within the next 2. Because I read about, in this novel, about 40 pages an hour. Honestly, I'm on the edge of my seat. I am a little sleepy though. But this is a good book to keep me awake. I'm nervous about the following books because I don't know if they're gonna be entertaining enough to keep me like engaged. And so maybe I do need something smarter than like, rather than something easy. I'm over 2 hours in. I might not update it every hour just because nothing's interesting. So I might update y'all when I finish more so than like me updating every hour on the hour. Because I'm not even updating on the hour. I update it as soon as I finish this chapter. Because that's just the vibes. That's just the vibes. We're going off of vibes here. We're not going off of like intellect. What is intellect right now? Nothing. This book honestly goes more into like supernatural horror than like realistic horror, which is out of my normal realm when we talk about scary stuff, okay? I'm not a supernatural girly. So this is a nice change of pace for me. I will say, I'm over here like, whoa, whoa. Did I think about how like to do this? Yeah. I was like, if I'm gonna gun it, I'm gonna sleep properly. I'm not gonna start at midnight. I'm not gonna do XYZ, and look at me now, a fool. I hung out with a friend tonight, so like my social battery's down. Did I prep properly for this? No. Am I here though, doing it? Yes. I don't think I'm gonna fall asleep. I hope not. Caffeine, save me. Save me, caffeine, save me. Alright, I'm gonna go back to reading. We're not even at 3 hours yet, and I'm losing my mind. Oh, dude, it's bad. It's so bad. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I've gotten delirious already, but here we are. And you know what? It's okay. I'm on page 222. Didn't know that, actually. Like, I'm being so serious right now. Angel numbers. Angel numbers, I meant to be doing this right now. That's probably not what that means, but whatever. I'm not gonna look it up. If you see angel numbers all the time, do you always look them up? No. No. So, sue me. Sue me for not looking it up. Editing cabitha will probably look it up because editing cabitha is not drowsy like this. She's doing things. Oh, I just saw 111. Stop. I need to read, dude. This is so bad. We're not even 3 hours in. I forgot the reason why I started this one. Can I talk about a pet peeve I have in books? A big pet peeve I have in books, especially books written by men, is when they talk in length about titties. That's what's happening currently, and I hate it, and so I'm getting delirious. It's because, like, okay, here's why. It never has a point. Like, okay, I have a feeling that it technically does have a point here, but most of the times it doesn't. Okay, as someone that has read King, as someone who has read a lot of other books, where it really doesn't matter, why are we talking about titties so much? Is it that, like, important to mention it in depth constantly? 911 police. 911 police. Okay, reading scenes like this, I'm not gonna say what it is because 1, spoiler, 2, not a good thing to talk about in length, but reading scenes like this is always really hard, so quite earnestly it's gonna take me a while to get through it. But 911 police, well, this is Japan. The fuck they use in Japan, like 111. I know that's Britain. I'm not sure what they use in Japan, but whatever it is, I'm scared for her. I'm scared for this situation. Also, I think I have like 60 pages left. maybe, max, so bear with me. I wish I had my reaction to what I just read. Huh? Beg your pardon. Sorry? What are we talking about, dude? Or, huh? The scene isn't even over! It's not even over! Like, dude, this is so bad. This is so bad. Everything is happening and I'm scared. I'm not scared like horror movie scared. I'm scared as in I'm nervous. I don't want bad things to happen, but bad things are going to. No. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is so sad. You know, when I started this book, I did not think that it would have led me to this point. Okay, when I picked up this book and I read the back, I said, that's interesting. I should read it. Girl. Oh, honey, you've got a storm brewing. We're about to reach the 3-hour mark in like a couple minutes. What? One of the characters did something and I'm just like, this is not a normal thing that you do to someone, but this is also a very odd character, so whatever. Okay, I've never seen anyone do this like gesture. The way that the author is describing this gesture, I'm like, I've never seen someone do that before, because they're flicking someone else's nose with like their index finger like this. Like, I'm just like, oh. I'm just like, okay, well, like it's so minute and like small, but it's a detail where I'm like, huh? You know what? It could be a thing in Japan. I don't think it is, but it could be. I'll see you guys either when I finish or at the 4-hour mark. Cause it honestly, it could be either or at this point. It's hour 4. I finished the book. Honestly, this is a really good book. I really liked it. Whenever there's books in a series, plural, I tend not to read past the first book because I'm bad at reading series. I used to not be. It's just something that happened in the more recent years. However, I very much want to read the following books. I want to know more about it, which is insane, dude. I just have so many questions still. I'm still on the edge of my seat. And quite earnestly, this was a really good pick to start this challenge out with. I'm at 4 hours, so I have no idea what to do for the next book. Also, I have to get another highlighter. Look, I use cheap highlighters, and also it takes me a couple highlighters for one book, okay? I annotate a lot, okay? I'm gonna rate this on Goodreads, and then I'm gonna come to y'all with the next book, because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna find out soon, though. Hi, okay, I have multiple options for books now. The first book is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Now, here's the thing about this. I've already gotten pretty far in it. The thing is, I'm reading this for a book club that I'm a part of online. I don't really have much to say about this book in this book club too, which is really sad because usually I'm pretty vocal. I just don't have much to say about it. But the thing is, I like taking breaks a lot with this book, and this is not the challenge for that. So maybe I'll read like a chapter or two here and there. I don't think I'm going to be reading large swaths of sections, just because this is not the book where I can just plow through. Like, it's just not. But I do have a couple that I think I could plow through. One of them is The Rachel Incident by Carolyn Donahue. I think it's just fiction. I'm not sure. I haven't started it, obviously. But from what I read on the little blurb here, it's a small blurb. It shouldn't be too hard for me to get into. I think it's just fiction, basic fiction. It's also huge. It's bigger than my head. So, and it's hardback. So that's an option. I also have Spin a Black Yarn by Josh Malerman. And this is a series of novellas. There's 5 novellas in here. I think it's like 300 something pages. Yeah, it's almost 400 pages. So it's 5 novellas, 400 pages. So if I feel the need to like switch it up, I think I'll read one of them, call it there. And last, I have something on my Kindle that I've been meaning to put off. I do this thing sometimes where I'll buy a romance book, like just like one of the cheap ones I can find online for like $3. I read through it in one sitting. I kick my feet, I giggle a little bit, and I go and I call it a day. But I bought this one like months ago. No, oh my god, it's been a year. No, it's been under a year, barely. And it's Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. And I started it, but I didn't finish it. Usually I finish it in one sitting because I'm a monster. The genres I have so far are 2 general fiction, novella, and then romance. And the thing about the romance one is I technically have started that one, but I don't remember anything, so I'd have to restart it. All I do remember is that it read like Hosier fanfiction. It read like Hosier fanfiction. I can't help it, okay? Also, I got called out by the main character a lot, okay? Blonde. I know I don't look blonde. The lighting is making me look bad. I promise I'm a blonde. Quirky. Wears cute earrings. I wanna read it though. It's on my TBR. It's been there because I bought it. It's on my Kindle. You know, like I have it. Might as well read it. I remember stopping myself from reading it because it read like Hosier fanfiction. I think I'm gonna start with the Rachel incident though. I think that's a good place to start. Just because it's very fresh, it's very new, and I don't know much about it. Also, it just seems kind of easy. I paused my time, so we're reaching 5 a.m. But we're still on hour like 4. Okay. I paused it because I needed to eat a little bit. Also, it took me a while to find out what books I wanted to read. So I just wanted to be more accurate. I'm being earnest and honest here, okay? This is earnest and honesty hour. But anyway, let's begin. Also, I keep saying angel numbers. It's 4:44 a.m. Look, usually I see 420, which is a weird number to see constantly. So I keep saying angel numbers. I'm gonna call them out whenever I see them for this video. I keep picking up books that take place in Europe. I don't know how. I have a book challenge in my book journal that is like, read the country, aka the states where I live, right? So I have no dents in it. You know why? Because I keep accidentally picking up books that take place in like England or Ireland and Asia, like Japan. Okay, Ring took place in Japan. This book taking place in Ireland? Morbidly Yours takes place in Scotland. This book takes place in some parts in the States, but most of it takes place in Cyprus. Like, how does this keep happening, dude? I'm trying to read American books, and yet I am failing. It's either I don't read in the States, or every single book is based in New York City. And mind you, I'm in a book club with my family, right? And this past book was my book to pick for all of us to read. Guess where it takes place? Not the United States! Ugh, whatever. Sorry. A weird rip. What do I do at this point? Do I have to target states now? Is that what this is? Do I have to like specifically be like, I need to read a book taking place in Arizona? Like what? Because I keep picking up books that take place in everywhere else. Okay, folks, we are nearing hour 5, but this is gonna sound old lady of me. My back hurts so bad right now. So I'm just gonna take a quick break from this. I tabbed where I was. I'm maybe like 20 pages in. Let me see. Yeah, I'm like 20 something pages in this book. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the book that's on my Kindle, because I can just lie down with my Kindle and my back can like stretch out a little bit, and then I'll keep reading. So I will update y'all when I update y'all. I just wanted y'all to know that I'm making the switch to the romance book that I've been meaning to read for since October? No, worse, earlier. Since September, I think. I feel like I should mention Miss Girly is American and Mr. Sir is Scottish. So I am gonna have a fun time with dialects in my brain. Do I know what a Scottish dialect is off the top of my head? No. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I have to get past the point where he's gonna start singing. I have to get past it. I have to get past it. We're outdoors. The sun is gonna be rising here. And I thought it'd be nice to bring you guys along to read. I'm gonna give you all a nice little sunrise time lapse while I'm reading on my Kindle. Also, one thing I want to clarify while I'm outside and the birds are being loud is this book takes place in Ireland, not Scotland. I don't know where I got Scotland from either, but what I do know is that I am right in saying that this is Hosier fanfiction. Who would have thought? Also, it is freezing out here. I didn't expect it to be this cold. I'm also not wearing sleeves, so that doesn't help. The sunrise is beautiful. I love nature. Here we are. It's really loud though, so I'm gonna go back inside. The sun is out. I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna keep reading. I forgot to mention, he's played the piano for her already. I'm on page like 30. What do you mean he's played the piano for her? Free me from hell. But it'll be fine, cause he's gonna sing for her later. It's so cold. I did this to myself. And it's May. I'm gonna go back into my warm home and read. Hi, bit of a time jump. We're almost 10 hours in. I completely didn't update y'all. Here's the updates though. I'm about, I think 70-something% of the way through this book. 74% of the way through this book. Here's some updates about it. 1, it's not Hosier fanfic, but the first time we meet this man, he plays piano for her, tells her that he writes songs, is a bit macabre in nature, is Irish, is tall. What do you want me to do? Now, so far, I do like this book. I think it's fun. I'm having a time, I guess. Honestly, I did kind of need this like easier read, especially because where I last left off at sunrise, I was really sleepy. Y'all, I took a nap. When I say, oh, we're nearing hour 10, it's noon right now. I took about a 2-hour nap because I needed it. Now, I didn't count it as a part of my time read, so we're gonna probably be ending around 2 a.m. This book has one of my favorite microtropes in romance, which is person A knows another language that person B does not know, and there's so much you can do with it. He speaks Irish, right? So, in this book, not only did she do the thing of like, what does this word mean? And mind you, at this point, they had already kissed, which the chemistry between them, insane. Okay, let's start there. But they had already kissed at this point, and they were like, no, this is a bad idea. No, this is a bad idea. But what if it's not? Like, that's the vibe. So, but at one point she's like, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? And he's translating it into Irish. And then, oh my god, they're playing chess simultaneously. Mind you, she's asking some very explicit words to be said in Irish. It's not like, hey, what does chess mean? And so I'm over here, I'm blushing and kicking my feet a little bit because I'm enjoying the times. And oh my god, she asked how to say checkmate, which is the one thing that isn't dirty that she asked for a translation for. And he said, I'm gonna teach you something more practical. And she's like, what is it? And he says, the Irish word for kiss me! He says the Irish word for kiss me? Duh! You can't do that stuff! Duh! So I'm over here freaking out, right? I'm freaking out, kicking my feet. And then we get the first smut scene of the book. We knew this was gonna happen. Not because I generally like need smut in a romance book. However, I knew it was leaning towards that, like, obviously. The way that these characters are written and how they perceive each other, like, that was obviously going to be the train of thought. And the thing is, it, it gets worse. Right before they do things, she's like, how do you say I want you in Irish? And he says, like, a phrase, right? And then we switch over to his perspective, because this is a dual perspective novel. And in his perspective, he says, like, the Irish phrase again for I want you, and he's like, but it doesn't just mean I want you. Ah! Sorry, I love this trope so much. It also means I love you. Ah! And he did a little confession. I love this trope so much. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I hate this book because he does this multiple times. Because mind you, we have gotten multiple smut scenes at this point, okay? The experience that I'm describing to you happens on like page 50. No, not page 50. 50% of the way through the book. God, oh my god, dude. But I'm 75% of the way through, so obviously there's been more smut scenes since then. And she loves it when he speaks in Irish to her, and he keeps confessing things. We are nearing 10 hours. I've said this multiple times already. And I don't know how much time I have left. Sometimes Kindle tells you, like, you can change your little thing. I have an hour and 25 minutes left in the book, according to my Kindle. I hope I update y'all more. I don't know why I didn't update. I think it's because I just got really into this, and I was also a little eepy. Nuh-uh. One, this is Hosier fanfiction. We knew that he could sing, okay? We knew that Mr. Man could sing, okay? But he was like, I'm too nervous to sing in front of people. Whatever, right? So I was like, maybe he's not gonna serenade her. Maybe I'll be clear. But then something happens and he sings, right? Not to her. And mind you, she always mentions like, oh, he's such a baritone, his baritone voice, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, so Hosier? But now, do you see that? Do you know what that is? That's him singing to her! Damn it! I think singing is a wonderful thing, okay? I think singing is so fun. Do not serenade me, dude. What do you do? What do you do when you get serenaded? You're supposed to just like stand there and be like, or even worse, do you white people snap? Do I go back to my roots and I white people snap? Like, what do we do? The song that he's singing to her, that he's serenading her with, is a song that he wrote. Oh God, dude. I've maybe read a stanza. Okay? Maybe I read a stanza. And I'm nervous if I have to read a whole song. You know what it's giving? It's giving, you know how on Wattpad back in the good old days, aka when I was in middle school and I would read fan fiction, it's giving when they would put One Direction lyrics. When they would put One Direction lyrics in the chapters, yeah, it's giving that. This is giving, oh my God, he's singing to me at his concert, and I'm too busy reading my book with my messy bun, about to be adopted by One Direction. Like, this is what it's giving. It's what it's giving. It's so unfortunate that that is what it's giving. But, oh, dude. I don't want to go back and read. Also, we're at 10 hours. We are officially at 10 hours. And I'm reading him serenading her. I have about over an hour until I finish this. So, unless something happens, which it might, because this is the book, I should either come back when I finish or at the 11-hour mark. But I doubt nothing is going to happen in between. But him serenading her is really taking me out. I'm sorry. I'm not a serenading girl. I'm not a singing serenading girl. But if you play an instrument for me, I think that's cool. But that's also just me. It feels like I'm reading bad poetry. No. I hate it here. No! He told her the title of the song. You want to guess what the title of the song is? Her name is Lark, right? Like the bird. You want to guess what the name of the song is called? It's called Lark Song. Lark Song, dude? What? Ugh. No, dude. Oh no, he has a clutter ring. He's using his grandmother's clutter ring. If you don't know what a clutter ring is, it's a ring that indicates if you're taken or not. Because, like, if you wear it one way, it indicates that you're single, but if you flip it, it indicates that you're in a relationship. She's so lost. She's like, thank you? Question mark? You know what? I would be too, because, like, what do you say? What do you do when someone writes a song for you? What do you do? I don't know. She doesn't know either. And the worst part is, I know exactly what he's gonna do afterwards, and I know what she's gonna say. And it's so unfortunate. No, he did it anyway! She's gonna eat with one of the lines here. He keeps having Irish pet names for her, and she finally asks the question, hey, what does this one mean? And he finally tells her that the main nickname he's been calling her this whole time means my pulse. I mean, like, I knew that because I've read his perspective before, but she didn't know that. This is bad. How many pages are in this book? Because I'm getting nervous now. But romance books always do this to me, okay? The third act breakup is really prevalent in romance books nowadays, and I hate it. I ended the chapter. After the emotional confrontation they had, she just left. But the problem is, she drove them there. How is he gonna get home? My question. Also, they're neighbors. Hello. I finished the other book. I finished Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. And I got to this little section which is about the author. I like reading about the authors because it proves some suspicions that I have. And on here it says that she loves Hosier. This is confirmed Hosier fanfiction. I called it. I knew it. I gave it 3 stars. I had fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, I could so obviously tell this is Hosier fanfic. And there were some things where I'm like, It had some of my least favorite tropes in there, which is like, random side characters get together super last minute. Serenading. Serenading is another trope I really don't like. But it did have one of my favorite tropes, one of my favorite micro tropes, which is the language thing, which we already talked about. But I had fun. I had fun overall. It's just like, am I gonna be writing home about it? No. Usually I rate romance books probably like around a 4. But the thing is, I could so obviously tell it's Hosier fanfiction. So I'm like, I can't rate it higher than a 3. I really can't. I enjoyed it though, but anyway, I'm gonna go into the novellas right now just because I need to get back into reading print after reading my Kindle for the past couple of hours. And if anything, I can space out the novellas because there's 5 of them in like this 400-page book. They're about 60 pages each. I should be able to get through a couple of these, maybe 1 or 2, depending on the vibe. So I will start reading, and then maybe I'll go back to the Rachel incident. I started at like 2 a.m., and I think I remember it. I know I do. Like, most likely I do. It's just like, I gotta get back into it kind of thing. But currently we're on hour 11. We're almost at the halfway mark. It is 1 p.m. It is 2 p.m. I'm 3 hours behind. We're 2 books down, dude. We're 2 books down. That's really good. I haven't been reading a lot prior to this, quite earnestly. So I'm glad to at least have like more books under my belt. Halfway done. We're at the halfway point. In the hour that has passed, I have read the first novella of this book, called Half of the House is Haunted. And honestly, I really liked it. I like the writing structure of it a lot, but I really like his writing style. I think it's distinctive. I like how it's structured very much. I'm not sure if that is going to be a thing for the rest of them. I can't tell right now, but I like it. I like it a lot so far. I don't know if I should continue reading a novella because I would have to start all over again, but the next one is called Argyle, and it seems really interesting. And like, I don't know if I want to go back to the Rachel incident quite yet. I don't know. Maybe I need to like take my time with that book, or maybe it's just like I didn't give it a fair shot at like 3 a.m. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep reading the novellas. Just because I kind of vibe with it. I'm not gonna lie. They're spooky though. They're spooky. They're ooky spooky. I'm glad I didn't pick this up as soon as I finished reading Ring, because if I did, dude, it was like pitch black. I was already like a little spooked after reading Ring. If I read this book, I would have been scared. My original purpose with the novellas was, okay, well, I'll read a novella and then I'll go to a standard novel, and then I'll come back when I need like a brain break. But honestly, I think these are more engaging than my novels that I have picked out so far. I literally just did finish the first one though, so maybe we'll see. So I think I'm gonna read that in the next hour. We're at the 12:30 mark though, so I'm probably gonna update y'all either when I finish it or when I actually reach 13 hours. I have a feeling I'm gonna come back when I finish the novella though, instead. We're on hour 14. My eyes are glazing over. It took an hour and a half to read the second novella. It was interesting. I wish, because on the back here, like they have like sentence long blurbs, like insane. In Argyle, a dying man confesses to homicides he never committed and reveals long kept secrets far more sinister than murder. And I don't feel like the secrets are that sinister, but I did like it. It didn't have the cool plot structure like the first novel had, because it was just how that story worked. Anyway, whatever. We're on hour 14. I had to get a new highlighter because I go through highlighters pretty quick. I think I got a new highlighter after Ring, but I don't remember. I think I'm going to transition to a novel now, just because the thing about novellas is I can only read so many in one sitting because I'm getting a new story every time, right? So like after 60 pages, I know, well, the story's over. I have to start all over with new characters, new settings. I think they're all taking place in the same town, but I'm not sure if it's a fictional town or not. I don't really know, because I'm not a big like town person. Like I don't know the names of towns. Either real or fictional, they're taking place in the same universe. I don't really have much else to say other than my eyes are glazing over. We're getting to the point where I'm not tired necessarily, like I'm not sleepy, but my eyes are. Because, you know, when you read, like, I think I've read about 600 pages already. When you read that much in, like, one day and you don't really take a break, your eyes are gonna hurt. And boy, do my eyes hurt. We're gonna persevere. Also, I lost one of my pens, so I had to get a new pen as well. I think this is it for this update. I think I'm gonna go to the Rachel incident and like just be lighthearted. Because also the thing about these is like they're a little spooky. They're a little horror stuff. And I like horror stuff, but the thing is, like, in doses. I've already read 2 of them. The next one takes place in outer space, which I don't know how that's gonna work. So I'm gonna wait on it. I need to be grounded in reality a little bit more. Just like a bit. Alright, we are on hour 15. Well, technically we're at 15:30. This past chapter was a little long, okay? And also I forgot that the timer was running. Yeah, I'm about 80 pages into the Rachel incident. Let's just say I have no idea what the rest of this book is gonna be. Everything that was on the blurb already happened. Because the thing about the blurb is that it's like, this all goes into a tale of debauchery with these characters. And I'm like, but what could it be? Also, I'm confused about the title. Because technically this book is called The Rachel Incident, right? And the main character, Rachel, like, nothing really happens with her yet. Like, technically something already happened with a different character that was on the blurb, right? But I'm just waiting for the Rachel incident so that I can write roll credits in my book. But I'm having fun. I think it's still too early to tell how I feel about this book. I don't think it's poorly written or anything. It's just like I'm still gaining. Sorry. The lighting, it's like 6 p.m. Oh my god, it's almost 7. It's 7. Thanks, Caroline O'Donoghue, for the holy text. We're still kind of early. Like, this is red. This is not red. I will say, we're already getting bad bisexual stereotypes. Yay. Oh, I saw 222 again. I've been seeing 222 all day. I saw 222 when it was 2 a.m., when it was 2 p.m., and on the clock right here, on the timer on my phone. So many angel numbers, but what does it all mean? Not gonna look it up. Hello, folks, welcome back. It's dark outside. It is currently 11 p.m. I'm on hour 18. That math doesn't add up, and I get it. Look, sometimes responsibilities come up super last minute, so I have, 6 hours to go? At earliest, I'm going to bed at 4 a.m., maybe. Also, we've gotten to the point where my eyes are just like unfocusing completely. You know how earlier I was like, well, my eyes are just glazing over completely? Like, they're just glazed. Nothing. It's really hard to read. Now my eyes are just like unfocusing really badly, and I'm like, am I gonna make it through this challenge? At this point, who knows? I'm gonna force myself to, because this is the farthest I've gotten in all of my attempts so far. And if you're seeing this, that means that I did it, because I'm not posting a failed attempt. I am kept awake by a 2-hour power nap I did at like 9 a.m. Oh no, at like 7 a.m. And caffeine. That is what I'm running off of. That is what I'm going to be running off of for the next couple of hours. Where I last left you off, I was basically starting The Rachel Incident by Caroline O'Donoghue. It's not my favorite. I'm about halfway through. The biggest thing with this book is that it's kind of all over the place, and I feel like the blurb and the title don't match what the book is about. Because this book is like The Rachel Incident, and I keep waiting for an incident to happen, and nothing is happening. And then I'm reading the inside blurb, and it's like, it's what happens, don't get me wrong, but we assume that these characters, we assume that this drama with, you know, this isn't a spoiler because it's on here, but we assume the drama with, you know, her professor and his wife is gonna be more important, and it's just not. This book isn't about that. This book is about, like, the friendship between Rachel and her best friend, James. If you market it that way, it's not gonna sell. I know that. Also, I changed Bic highlighters again. I use cheapy highlighters because using expensive ones like this scares me. I'm not using midliners on my normal books, okay? They'd all run out. I wouldn't have anything to use for my pretty book journal pages, okay? I hope I finish this. Maybe I'll start another book. Maybe I'll read the book I have to do for my online book club. And the thing is with that one is we're supposed to finish it by May, and I'm not even halfway through it. So I am technically behind, but this is not the challenge to read that book on, okay? I think what I'll do is I'll probably start a new book. I'm not gonna read another one of the novellas just because they're scary. I need to remind you, it is almost midnight again. I'm not reading the scary stories at midnight. I hope I finish this. I hope I finish it, because I think it would be nice to have 3 books to finish off this challenge with, like 3 whole books. Even though I started one of them before the challenge started. If I finish this and I have like an hour left, then I'll go to my book club book and I'll just make a dent in it. I'm not gonna start a whole new book like that, you know what I mean? I just feel like that's not fair. At least this is the point of night where I feel like I'm gonna get the most reading done. During the day is hard because people want to talk to me and people need things from me because I am a human being. Also, I forgot to do a sunrise. I forgot to do a sunset time lapse. Sorry. Hopefully I don't have to do another sunrise one. I'm hoping I go to bed before sunrise. But if not, Suleville. Okay, I need to read. Biggest crime. Not a lot is happening. Like, this is just like, I'm interested enough to finish it, but I'm not interested enough to be like writing home about it. So I'll either update you guys when something actually happens in here, which doubts, or a significant time check. So like at 20 hours, I probably am gonna update y'all. Also, I think I did that math wrong, and I would actually be going to bed at 5 a.m. So we are officially on hour 20. We have 4 hours left officially. God bless. I am almost done with this book. I found out what the Rachel incident was. Happened kind of late. So like whatever. Rescind what I said about the title. Keep what I said about the blurb. I think we need more from the blurb because it's really small, especially for a book that is like relatively tall. This is a small blurb. I'm on 228. The way that they do page numbers in this book bothers me so much, dude. You're not gonna get it on the chapter pages, obviously, and they have the numbers at the top. Whatever, fine. But then if we go to like a normal page, the top of the page is the Rachel incident, and then they have the odd number page. They don't have even number pages at all. Like, just put them on the bottom. If you're having page numbers at the top, you usually don't have titles, right? So this is just me being a geek about structure and me also wanting to talk about this because it's been bothering me this entire book. But usually if you're doing like this kind of structure where you have the title at the top, you would have the author's name right here. Or if this book is in sections, which this one isn't, you would have the section name right there, right? And then you'd have page numbers at the bottom. Or you would have page numbers at the top, screw the title, screw the author name. But it's like a mixture of both, and it's been bothering me this whole time because I like having accurate page numbers, but I don't like having to, I don't know, work for it. I don't like having to think about it too much. I like looking at the page number on the page and being like, yep, this is what page I'm on. I don't think I'm gonna finish it within the next hour. I think I'm gonna finish it within the next 2 hours. So I'll probably update y'all when I finish instead of like by hours. But we are chug-a-lugging along. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty okay. Honestly, I think the worst stretch was hour 15 to 18. Because when I wasn't updating y'all, it was like my eyes were really blurry, and then also I had to do stuff while I was reading, so it was like a weird multitasking thing, and I was just really tired. Right now, I'm not feeling super tired. That's gonna change, obviously. But right now, I'm feeling pretty decent. I'm feeling like I did last night, right? Where like, I'm probably gonna get delusional around like 3 a.m. and delirious around 3 a.m. But right now it's barely 1, and barely 1 a.m. To be fair, I'm very much a night owl, okay? So usually I go to bed around 1 a.m. or later anyway. I have not slept since Sunday. It is now officially Tuesday. I don't know how to rate this book. I'm someone that does whole star ratings. I'm not a big fan of 0.5s, 0.25s, 0.75s. Mainly because I like using Goodreads, and the thing is about Goodreads is that you can only do whole stars. So I like my story graph, because I have multiple apps, I like my story graph and my Goodreads to have the same rating, but I'm kind of stuck here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of stuck between like a 2.5 and a 3. Like, once I found out what the Rachel incident was, I think I like it more, but it happened like page 170. Like, it happened late in this novel. So there's stuff with that. But I don't know. I'm also leaning towards like maybe a 2, 2.5, 3. Everywhere in that range is just like, yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. I don't think I'm gonna start a new book. I'm in the last 4 hours of this challenge. There's no reason for me to be starting a new book, especially so late at night. But the thing is, the books that I have that I'm reading outside of this challenge aren't books that I like reading super early on in the week. But the thing is, I can't read another novella. It is too dark. It's gonna be scary. I am already like a little jumpy because it's so late. I'm also rambling because I'm tired. I'm losing my mind a little bit. I'm losing my mind a lot of it, actually. I don't know how much I'm gonna recall from all these books, because mind you, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of book journal spreads after this. I'm gonna have to do at least 3 when I finish this one. Writing my reviews on these books is gonna be interesting, because half of them I'm gonna be delirious for. I don't know, especially this one. It's not necessarily that it's written slow or it's written poorly. It's actually written very well, But it takes time. And that's the thing, is like, you have to gain so much knowledge in order to understand everything, that when the plot does start moving, it's like, okay, well, it's been over 100 pages and I'm still like confused. One thing I did want to mention that I completely forgot that I needed to was, I'm on page 228 or something, right? I said it earlier. I feel like I'm in the last chapter of this novel, which is factually incorrect. 276, right? That's the last chapter, and it does a time jump. So let's just say the time jump is an epilogue, okay? The last chapter starts on page 261, you know, and I'm on 220 something, and I'm like, these are the last chapters of this novel. Like, it feels like everything is wrapping up, and I'm like, what could be done in the next, like, 60 pages? I don't know. But it's for me to know in like an hour. Alrighty, folks, we are nearing hour 22, and I finished the book! So we are now 3 books down. It is way too late to start a new book. Like, I don't think I would even retain anything from a new book at this point. So I think I'm gonna read a book club book. Once, like, I figured out the plot, like, over 170 pages in, pretty good. The first 170 pages, I was like, where are we going? What is happening? Who am I? Who are you? What is happening? Now, I will say, the last, like, section, the part where I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We're just playing catch up, basically. But I'm so glad that we got a win at the end of the book. And I'm not gonna say what the win is, but we got a win. We got a win here. I don't know. I think I need more time with this before I do my book journal on it. We are a minute away from 3 a.m. I'm gonna be reading until the sun rises. So I'm gonna put this book away and then grab the book club book that I need to read. I'm tired, don't get me wrong, I'm exhausted, but I'm not like delirious or anything. Like, I'm not super rambly. I mean, I was for a little bit, not gonna lie. But so far, my brain is like still intact. I can see the finish line, so I'm feeling pretty decent. I'm going to crash. I'm so excited to sleep more than 2 hours. I didn't sleep before this video started. I went straight through. So the last time I slept like a full night's sleep was Saturday. I'm gonna start the final book. Sorry it wasn't super aesthetically pleasing, but I've been losing my mind, so hope that's worth it. The book that I'm going to be finishing up this challenge with is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Now, I've been reading this book for the past like month already, so I'm not starting it, which is nice to know when you are nearing the end of a challenge like this. I don't have to start over with like new characters, but I will say this book isn't my favorite that we've read in this book club. Thing is about this book is that I have to reread things a lot just because it gets kind of wordy. So I think I'm yapping extra because I don't want to read. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Welcome, folks, to the end of the video. We are reaching 24 hours soon. I have about 5 minutes left, but the next chapter in this book is kind of long and I won't finish before. So I'm going to talk about what I learned, what I gained from doing this to myself. Quite earnestly, I don't know why I did this to myself. I got some really good books out of it, I'm not gonna lie. You know, like, the books were really nice. The reason I wanted to do this challenge in the first place was because I was in a really bad reading slump and I just couldn't find it in me to read. After I did my first attempt and I failed, and then I did my other attempts and failed, I didn't get out of my reading slump. I felt worse about it because I knew that I was just gonna keep trying this challenge until I succeeded, kind of thing. And so hopefully I can get back in the habit of reading like every day. It's good for you to read every day, you know? And I wasn't. I was just reading like 100 pages like once every 3 days. My favorite book, I think, was Ring by Koji Suzuki. I really enjoyed the mystery, the horror, the thrill of it all. As like a runner-up, I really like the novellas. I didn't finish all of them, but I liked the ones I read. And I think my least favorite book was The Rachel Incident. Not because I think it was a bad book, I just think it took a really long time for me to get into, and the book itself was like bigger than my head. So it was just like a really big book, and it had like a lot of pages and stuff. And with its really slow pacing, the book being huge, I don't know if that helped or if it harmed it a lot. I am really tired. My brain feels like mush. I want to go to sleep so badly. I'm probably gonna come up with stats tomorrow, so I'll talk about that right now. It's stats, Cabitha. Now, in this entire 24-hour binge, I read 5 books. 3 of them I finished, 2 of them were partial. I read 908 pages. My usual page number for the month is around 1,000, 1,100. I almost read my monthly page goal in like 2 days, technically. I had 1 5-star, and then I had 2 3-stars of the books that I completed. There are a lot of reasons why you should not do this. 1, I was so delirious all the time. The entire time. My brain was mush, and it got to the point when I was going to sleep, like to actually sleep for the first time in a couple of days, I was like, I'm talking like a sim. Like, that's what it was, is like I was trying to find thoughts and cohesive thoughts at that, and it just wasn't working, okay? It was bad. My brain was glitching most of the time. 2, your eyes are really important here, and the thing is, I already have bad eyesight. Can you tell? Can you tell I have bad eyesight already? Not sleeping for a long period of time and doing reading, which needs your eyes to focus, is really hard. I talked about it a little bit. My eyes were glazing over, but they were also watering. I couldn't focus on things, like my eyes were out of focus a lot of the time. And honestly, it was just really bad for my eyes, to the point where when I was trying to go to sleep that night, my eyes hurt a little bit. They were overused. All this to say, read in moderation. Do this if you must, like I thought I had to, but earnestly take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you happen to like this video, wouldn't hurt to give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, that would be cool. You can leave that in the comments below. If you like my channel, if you like my vibes, if you like my energy, you can subscribe and maybe even hit the little bell to be notified whenever I post. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Bye!